Welcome. I am doing a special episode this week of my podcast with the beautiful, amazing Jovy one. I love you, Jovy, so much. So happy
thank
to
you. I love
be
you
doing
too.
this.
Yay.
So, Jovy, I know we've met before, but just to maybe update everyone on what you've been up to since we last met. What have you been doing?
Wow, I've been doing so many things. I have been having a lot of fun, enjoying life, playing with my creation, learning, expanding, evolving. It's just a whole basket of everything. So it's hard to pinpoint anything, but life has been really good.
It sounds amazing. I have to say, for anyone who follows Jovy on social media, her posts are always so inspiring. And the pictures of food, food is very close to my heart.
I know food is my love language. I honestly think I'm Chinese, so food is the love language for the majority of Chinese people. I think I assumed that correctly. I just love food, and I love everything beautiful. So it's not just the taste, but the presentation, the look, the smell, the ambience of the restaurant, everything adds up. I just love everything beautiful.
I totally agree with you. To me, the food is also like the language of, when you said it's your love language, it's the language of the soul. When we have like really good food, that you can feel the energy of the person who has cooked it, has the person who's waited on you, all of it kind of all comes into this.
And the creativity behind the whole creation of the dish, the mix of the spices and the ingredients, and as you said, everybody involved, like people in the kitchen, the waiting staff, the restaurant manager, everything, the one who designed the restaurant, like every little bit counts. And I just appreciate that so much.
Yes, me too. I love it. Totally. Oh, Jovy, I love talking to you, and I love all of the work that you do. I love your coaching and the amazing work you're doing with your clients. I love your quantum healing hypnosis, like the work you do there, where you go so deeply into people's, I don't know what you would say, like, but it's just so deeply into their process and where they are and helping them to move on. And then just your general demeanor, just awesome. It's a bit of a love fest.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I feel very blessed to be doing the work that I really love doing. I absolutely enjoy doing my work. I enjoy helping people, and seeing my clients shift in such a profound way is it's like the most heartwarming thing in the world. I feel so fulfilled. It's just fun. I love it.
I agree. Oh, there's a lovely noise going on in the background here. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear it, but we have building work going on across the road. Hopefully you can't hear it, everyone.
I can't hear it, so don't worry.
That's good. Oh, I totally agree. It's so amazing. And what about you? Like as obviously as coaches or just as people in general having this human experience, what's been like for you, maybe the key, I don't know if learning's the right word, but kind of growth and expansion that you've been having recently? What would you say?
Well, something very interesting that I've been learning and getting better at is to tune into my body. We have a chat about that before, so I can share that here again.
Yes.
Well, about a few months ago, maybe 2 to 3 months ago, I had a channeling session with a lovely lady where I got some information about two of my superpowers. One is the usual suspect, like me being able to hold a huge portal to connect people to interdimensional wisdoms and beings, and just taking them on a quantum journey. So right now I call myself a quantum tour guide.
I love that.
Thanks to our mutual friend David Fuller, who gave me that term in the first place. I love that too. It just so capture the essence of what I do. And the other superpower that transpired was my ability to connect with Mother Earth to create.
Mm.
And that one, when I heard that, I was a bit puzzled. How do I do that? And I wasn't given a lot of information, but it was for my own exploration. It's more about like embodiment, using our body, our physical sensations, physical feelings, the nervous systems to create. So I've heard of that before, and I didn't know much about that. Um, so I was up to the challenge, like, okay, I'll explore. I don't know what it is, but I'll explore. So after that channeling session, um, I was trying to figure it out how, and then I wasn't getting anywhere. So I outsourced it to my higher self, aka my inner being. So I'm just like, I don't know how, just show me the way, bring me the wisdom. And just like that, a few days later, um, I have been channeling my own guides. I have been channeling my higher self, my future self, some of my guides, even my ascended master self for years now. Um, so that one morning, I have a feeling that, some being wants to come through, and I have no idea what that was. So I was just tuning in and checking, and guess what? That was Mother Earth. And
Love
I
it.
was like, seriously? Mother Earth wanted to talk to me? Oh my goodness. Oh, me, this little Jovy, Mother Earth, she wants to talk to me. She wants to give me a message. I was kind of in disbelief, but I felt that tremendous love just flooding through me. And I was so moved and touched. And I felt such immense love that I was in tears. So I think I cried for like a good 5 minutes before I start coming down, get into the receiving mode, and start allowing the message to flow through. So it turns out to be a really beautiful, full of love message, teaching me that it's not that difficult, because just like we are all of source and from source, we are also of Mother Earth and from Mother Earth, because we literally in this 3D reality are made up of components that are provided by Mother Earth. We
Mm.
literally are her. So by tuning into our physical body, we are tuning into her already. So it's not like you have to
Mm.
do a whole 9 yards of, here and there. You just tune into your body. You're tuning into her already. So that was quite beautiful. And she said anything we feel through our physical sensation is through our nervous system. So when people
Mm.
talk about the nervous system, it's actually about our sensation, our feeling. So I
Mm.
was taught to just pay more attention to my feelings, to my sensation, not the emotional feelings, but the physical
Mhm.
sensation.
Mhm.
And just begin with this. And I was told that it's easier than I thought. So don't worry. It's just a little something to learn. Um, it, it's subtle. It's subtle but important. So
Mm.
and then some more loving messages, which really, really fuel up my entire heart and my entire being with love. Um, so after that channeling, I actually shared a message with some of the people in another group. Um, so I start paying more attention to my body, to my sensation, and true to form, the more I pay attention to the physical sensation, the more I notice it.
Yes.
Like sometimes when I try to use examples to demonstrate a point to my coaching clients, for example, what would be a limiting side of the equation? What would be an ever expanding, more positive side of the equation? And when I describe it to them, I physically feel this contraction in my heart, in my body, in the not so good side. And in the much better side, I felt the expansion. Like, wow, so it's there, that feeling, that sensation is there. So fast forward about 6 7 weeks, I felt so much more in tune with my body, and I feel a lot more feminine than before. It's like an interesting byproduct because Mother Earth is very feminine. As in when I
Yes.
tune into my body, I feel more feminine, I feel more sensual. Um, it's just a whole new level of experience for me. I'm still exploring, but it has been
I
really fun.
love this. I love this discussion. I love that. I love how you're talking about the body and how often people use the word grounding and I remember when I first heard this word, which was a long time ago, when I was very ungrounded, and I really had no clue what anyone was talking about when they said to me, you should ground yourself, go and stand in nature, or go and but it's similar to that, isn't it? Grounding and embodiment, that kind of getting into your body, it's feeling your
Mm-hmm.
body, and like
Mm.
even the simplest thing of just being able to notice the sensations of where your body touches the ground or touches your seat, or
Yeah.
taking your awareness into, because I think we live in a although we choose to live in the new paradigm, but in the old world, it's a world of kind of very inward focus, like intellectually.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just expand. It's such an amazing expansion, isn't it, to think that you don't have to think, that you can just feel and experience what's going on in your body. And there's
Yes.
such wisdom in that.
Yes. And something came through that really, really makes sense is we're so used to stay here or there, right? A higher consciousness or stay in the mind. And then
Mm.
we forgot to stay in the body. Yeah, the
Mm.
universe, the source, it's very powerful and everything, but we live on earth, like
Yes.
we are here. And Mother Earth give birth to everything on earth. Look at how
Mm.
powerful she is.
I
Look at the
love that.
tides, look at the mountains, look at the majestic places, look at everything. It's all from Mother Earth. So if we only live up there and forgot this very important part, we're missing a big part of our power. So if we're able to tap into both, imagine how much more powerful we are.
Absolutely. And I loved it as well when you were talking about reminding ourselves that we have all the same, if you go down the scientific way, we have all the same chemicals, we have all the same makeup as the earth.
Mm-hmm.
We literally come from the earth, and we when we can remember that, and when we can really connect in that way, like you said, there's a whole different sense of power that is so grounded, I'm using that word again, but so balanced, I think is probably a good word as well, where it's just,
Yeah.
there's just a sense of I don't know, connection to it all, I guess, really.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's been really fun exploring. And yeah, what Mother Earth told me was correct. It's easier than I thought.
Mm.
Yeah.
And what and when just to help maybe people who might be like interested in exploring it a little bit more for themselves,
Mm-hmm.
do you have any like suggestions for people who might want to just play with this a little bit, or are curious about
Well,
experiencing more of
yeah,
what's going on in their body?
yeah. Well, usually people would do like physical activities, yoga, all sorts of things to help them ground back to the body. But something very simple you can do is just to pay attention. For example, today I choose my right hand. I can just
Mm.
pay attention to my right hand, um, like focus on my fingers from one to another, look at them, feel the sensation. Just focus on one part of your body and
Yeah.
connect with that part of your body. Just feel the sensation fully. While I'm speaking, I'm connecting. So I'm feeling my left hand, I mean my right hand so much stronger
I'm
now.
doing that as well, because you're talking about it. I'm feeling my right hand as well.
Yeah.
And
So just
I love that. Go on. Sorry.
yes, sorry. So it's actually very easy. You just pick a part of your body and focus and tune in. And if you have more time, I like to do this exercise is to run through my entire body and thank them. Because
Love that. I love that.
truly,
Oh,
without this
yes.
vessel, how are you going to live on earth? And they have been
Oh,
working so hard since day zero,
it
right?
does. It
So I
does.
would be tuning
Oh,
into my toes, the soles of my feet, like from that part
mm,
up, every part, just saying, thank you. I love you so much. You're amazing. You're beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then go all the way up to the crown of my head. It takes a while because, we have a lot of body parts, right? But
yes, and
it's
organs,
so
all our
worth it.
beautiful
Yeah.
organs that we have. I love, love, love. You're reminding me, I haven't done it for a while, but I used to do, I think it was from a Taoist practice, exactly that, which was focusing on all the different parts of our body. Because
Yeah.
often, again, I probably still have this come at times. We focus on our body when there's pain or when there's discomfort or, something going on that we don't like. But what an amazing gift to give ourselves to say, actually, I'm going to focus on my body every day and every part of my body and feel
Yes.
thankful for that every part. And
Yes.
even as I say that right now, I feel like my body, and I know Joe Dispenza talks about that there's neuroreceptors in every part of our body. So it's not just our brains,
Mm-hmm.
that our body responds like in the same way that, people talk about water, that water, we can kind of infuse water with energy. Just our intention of thanking our
Mm-hmm.
body, I can feel that sensation. I can feel my body, I feel like the cells in my body are just like
Speaking of
going, yeah.
water, we have
We
75
are
ish percent
absolutely.
of water in our body. So yes, we're talking to, our body. Um, yeah, that will help you tune into your body more. And where your attention go is where your energy flows. So you
Yes.
give more energy to your own body and you will build a stronger connection that way. So I thought
And
that's
our body
that's a
might
really
have
good exercise.
messages for us when we do that as well. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've experienced that, but um, by tuning more into our bodies, then the different parts of us body can also be giving us messages. Sometimes it could just be feelings or sensations, and other times we may actually feel an actual kind of verbal, not verbal because it's not speaking, but a
Yeah,
message that it contains
I
words.
I do that all the time.
I
Yeah.
bet.
Yeah, whenever I feel, oh, okay, the back of my heart had something. Let's have a conversation. So I'll tune in and then allow the message to come and have a good conversation there.
Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful. Oh, this is such a lovely conversation. I know my body is enjoying this as much as my physical body is enjoying this as much as my mental body. It's such
Oh,
a
lovely.
lovely exploration to,
Mm,
and that turning on of all of our senses as well. Because that's what I'm thinking about is our sense of touch,
mm-hmm,
feeling those sensations when we touch different things, and
mm-hmm.
smell and taste, and which is what we started off with, which was when we were talking about food, but kind of
Mm-hmm.
feeling how all of that kind of plays into embodying it all, every part of ourselves, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Oh, I love how
Oh,
everything ties in so perfectly.
me too. Always,
Yeah.
always, always trust in your
Mm-hmm.
the beautiful beings that guide us.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I I wanted just to ask you, because I'm really curious. You were talking about your role in holding like an interdimensional portal for others. I love, love, love that.
Okay.
How can you talk a little bit more about that?
Well, I think it comes with my years doing the quantum healing hypnosis technique. I am so used to holding space for my clients and the more I do that, I think the more capacity I gain in
Mm.
holding that space, allowing the things to naturally come through. So it's almost like a energetic or vibrational match, because I have tuned myself to a certain level. So
Mm.
whoever are in my presence, is easier for them to tune to that level. And that level, it's again easier to tune to that level of like interdimensional quantum kind of experiences, or guides, beings, their high self, inner beings to come through. So yeah, it just becomes quite natural and easy and fun, if I may add.
Absolutely fun. And then part of that is interesting, isn't it? Because when you say interdimensional, Mother Earth is interdimensional, because I'm sure there's many different versions of that.
I am sure. Well, let me give you an example. In my early years of doing this technique with my hypnosis, um, which was like 9, 10 years ago, I always thought there would be a unitary answer to something. For example, how the pyramids are built. So I was able to talk to a lot of people's higher self, like, and then, they saw a past life where they were, perhaps beings from other planets came to help build those pyramids. Those pyramids were for particular use, this and that. So I thought there would be a singular truth, like a singular story.
Mhm.
But the more I did this, the more I realized they're different stories, and they each sound or make perfect sense, and they each like wonderful, amazing. But how could that happen? But the more I feel like, the more I open up, the more I realize there can be many dimensions of the same place, and
Mhm.
there can be even the same place, even the same perception of in the ancient prehistoric time of, for example, Egypt. The range could still be that wide. So,
Mhm.
something happened at that point may be very different from something happened, way back then. Um, so there's so many different realities, like we talk about in the quantum field, with infinite possibilities.
Mm.
So even if this with the same dimension, there are many things, many possibilities are going on, plus
Mm.
infinite dimensions. So it's like infinite, 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 infinite. Um,
Absolutely.
so I stopped chasing for that singular truth for a long time now, because I know there isn't, and everything is truth in their own way.
All truths are
Whatever,
true.
yeah,
Yeah.
whatever relevant to that person is the most
And
important.
where they are, where they are in that specific moment. And all of us, even in this conversation,
Yeah,
we've both shifted in the last 25 minutes, 26 minutes. We've shifted, and we all do. We're all constantly moving, and our vibration is shifting. So what we might have experienced 20 minutes ago, we might not, we might experience it very differently now. And I just love
yeah.
that we have that.
And something really fun is, I don't know whether I've spoken to you about that before, is sometimes I'll be having a session with a client under hypnosis. I'll be talking to her guides, or, people from her home planet. And then I find out it was actually her, but another expression of her talking to this her on the bed, and me, and then another version at another level. So we are like having a conference call, like a Zoom call, but through different dimensions. It's so fun. It's like
I
it's
love that.
happening real time, but it's from, all over the places. Places
Yeah,
meaning, in different dimensions, time,
absolutely.
space, in the universe. So it's very
Yeah,
convoluted.
absolutely. And actually, no need to work it out. Like, no need to work out all of that, but just have an openness and a willingness, like you said, to allow and receive.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just beautiful.
Yeah. One of these days in the future, I am going to write some books to document some of this, like, really
Oh,
out
you
there sessions that I
absolutely.
have,
I can
because
see
they're
that
just mind blowing.
Oh, I can see you being a bestseller.
Oh, thank you. I've
I
been
can,
talking about
I
that for years now, but I've better ideas now. Still not on my immediate list of
sure.
things to do, but yeah, it will come.
It's still, what's the word? Not percolating. It's still kind of like it's still coming together.
Yeah,
It's not quite at the point of um action. It's
yeah,
still in kind of, yeah, I love
yeah,
that. I love it.
yeah.
Oh,
It's
I can
gonna
definitely
be
see, it's
fun.
really reminded me of and it may not be the same, but Journey of Souls, that kind of,
Mm-hmm.
all
Yep.
those different stories that everyone has,
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
and your, I mean, your wealth of experience on that, just, oh, I'm sure people would just love, just even hearing you talk about it just a little bit today is just amazing.
Yeah, yeah. I love telling those stories because they're just so mind-blowing. Like even for me. And imagine me every time being on the front row seat. Like I
Yes.
get to ask questions.
Yes.
I get to figure out, oh, what is going on? That is so fun.
That is so fun. And you know what you're reminding me of now? Something that's sort of coming into more and more into my awareness. And it's come, and it takes us back a little bit, I think, to Mother Earth, but doing channeling for other people, and messages coming through about the evolution of the planet, or the expansion, not just of the people who live on the planet, but the planet itself, and Mother Earth, or the planet itself, and how there are people as well as non-physical who are working on that as well as on their own growth and expansion. And
Mm-hmm.
I would be so interested to hear from you if you've had any messages, or um, have any wisdom to share from about your experiences around that.
Well, when you were talking about that, one case just came to mind. I don't know whether it was what you're looking for, but of course it's gonna be perfect because it came to my mind, right? I remember one time I was working with a client, the entire past life that he saw, he could not get into that person's body. He was almost like watching it from a third person.
Mhm.
And that was a life filled with regret because he thought he committed some serious crime, but actually he did not. But because of the fear, he left the village, he left everyone he loved.
Mhm.
And at the end, he died, lonely and sad and, a whole life wasted. So after he passed on, I was able to connect to his higher self. I was able to ask, why did you choose to show that life? And what was that about? Little did I know, he wasn't that character. He was the guardian angel of that character. That's why
Mhm.
he was seeing the entire thing from like a third person's point of view. And he
Yes.
was full of remorse and guilty feeling because he thought he could have done a better job as the guardian angel. He couldn't convince him to go back to the village. He couldn't guide him to move forward in the way he should have done so that he would have a better life. So guardian angel, when they pass over, the guardian angel needs to go to the place to get some healing himself, get some time to rest and heal and let go of all this trauma. So I was like, wow, we always thought, angels, they're angels. They are like superheroes. They know everything. They're so good. You know, like you just said, it's like with other beings coming to Earth to help this planet's evolution, help with the experiment, and they're way more than just one rung. They're like many rungs. Um,
Yeah.
we are all evolving, learning, and expanding at the same time. So
Yes.
let's not think about us human beings as the tiniest of all, like we're at the lowest, the bottom of the chain. It's not like that. So we're
No.
helping each other. We have a role to play in each other's life. Like
Yes.
how I communicate with my future self now, I have this amazing understanding. they are grateful for me as well. So all
Yes.
the while I thought, oh, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for
Yes.
helping.
Yes.
But
Yes.
they felt the same about me. So, and I'm helping my older self as well. I may not be consciously aware of what I
No,
do,
we are.
but we are all doing this for each other, with each
And
other.
absolutely. And that is always the message that comes through for me. And I've had exactly the same experience. For me, is like when I first connected with the future version of me, I was like, I was so like, oh my gosh, so almost in awe, I think, and so kind of grateful for that connection. And probably a lot of projection of like them being in so much of
Yeah.
a better
Mm-hmm.
place than me, and
Mm-hmm.
and actually the message that came through, and it's the same message that comes through for Source, is like my growth and expansion is their growth and expansion, and vice versa. Like
Exactly.
it's circular, it's not linear, it's not a like you don't grow like this, we grow in all directions. So when I grow, she grows. When she grows, I grow. It's all of us. It's all versions, and it's the same for Source. So when our growth and expansion is also Source's growth and expansion. So Source has a huge appreciation for us and our growth and expansion, because it's also contributing towards their growth and expansion. And when we can see ourselves more in that light, and not like you say, think we're this very small at the bottom of the rung. We're not. We're this integral part that actually there's so much appreciation from non-physical and other dimensions of what we're doing as well. And
Mm-hmm.
I love it when we can have that
Yeah.
perspective of, wow, yes,
Mm-hmm.
we are worthy just as we are, and that
Yeah.
our growth has impact, ripple effects across everyone, each other's
Across the
different versions.
multiverse. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. Oh, I think this is such a lovely place to end. I hope that feels okay for you. Is there
Sure.
anything else that you would like to share, or just as an ending kind of for the beautiful viewers?
Well, just love yourself, keep having fun, and know that all is well.
Perfect. Oh, so much love for you. Thank you so much. I've loved
Thank you
this.
for having me. Thank you.